Now, UN human rights experts say Saudi Arabia is using its counter-terrorism laws to silence activists, including women. They are accusing Riyadh of violating international law that guarantees freedom of speech. The experts were speaking at a panel event on the sidelines of the UN Human Rights Council. Now, we're going to talk to Arsalan Iftikhar about this, who is a human rights lawyer, a senior fellow at Georgetown University. He's with us on Skype from Virginia. So, counter-terrorism laws, is it a case of using that term as a giant umbrella, basically, to cover whatever they want?
Well, yes, Jamal, the short answer is yeah. And of course, the irony is that the way that they're going to be using these counterterrorism laws is to selectively prosecute people like women's rights activists, religious minorities, and journalists like Jamal Khashoggi, who most American intelligence agencies had found was murdered by the Saudi royal family. And so it's important to keep in mind that at a time where Saudi Arabia is actually supposed to be moving in the right direction towards more transparency and reform, they're actually regressing and moving in the wrong direction now.
We talk about female activists, we talk about religious minorities, journalists. What is it that these people are doing which has got the Saudi government quite so worried?
Well, they're challenging the kingdom's status quo. Again, the irony is that the counterterrorism measures that are being employed by the Saudi kingdom are similar to the ones that were employed by the United States after 9/11 against the American Muslim, Arab, and South Asian communities, and which has been disparately impacting us here in the United States. And so, again, for a so-called Muslim majority country to use these same sorts of draconian measures to imprison and convict in kangaroo courts people who challenge the conventional wisdom of the status quo of the kingdom of Saudi Arabia, again, the irony is pretty astounding.
Well, yeah, the juxtaposition interests me, because we think about the things you're talking about there. I think back to the great imprisonment that happened in the Ritz-Carlton Hotel as well last year, and then we see pictures of Mohammed bin Salman, who is touted as the great reformer of Saudi Arabia. I mean, one cancels the other out, surely. Yeah,
and I think, Jamal, the important thing to keep in mind is that the international community has a moment. Again, we have a moment where, there is growing international pressure on MBS and the Saudi royal family to change its ways in light of the assassination of Jamal Khashoggi. And again, these latest laws are, again, only a step in the wrong direction. And I think the international observers need to call that out.
In which way? In what way? What pressure can be put on a country which is, inherently closed off to the rest of the world?
Well, I mean, in the package piece right before my interview, we talked about how there is a $900 million, arms package going from the United States to Saudi Arabia. There are other countries that have billions of dollars invested. It's money. Again, this European nations, other Muslim majority countries, Western nations really can put the pressure on the Saudi government with the contracts that they give and say, listen, until we actually see real fungible reforms done in the legal realm which protect the rights of all people, especially minorities and women's rights activists and journalists. Until that happens, we're not going to send any more of our money your way.
Arsalan Iftikhar, pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you.